Greetings and salutations. This is Imperator Vespasian bringing you the first in our new version of the Chinese Army for bolt action. I'm going unit by unit and I'm starting with the first one that was on top of the deck, which is the Sdkfz222 armoured car. Great thing is you can also use this for the Germans as well if you're collecting those. I'll show you the card for it. This is the card for it, which is what we use in game. Basically the Sdkfz222 was a German armoured car sold to the Chinese along with quite a few other bits and bobs. Nice little armoured car, pretty much all-terrain transport, can go backwards as well as forwards, which is cool. This particular unit is a regular 9, meaning its morale is 9. Maximum,
not bad.
Not bad. It's because it's an armoured car unit and all the Chinese stuff is pretty regular. Some of the stuff's veteran. You can upgrade it to veteran if you want. Speed 12 inches, meaning it can go 24 inches if it runs. Armour 7 plus because it's an armoured car. Put you back 95 points. Not too bad. It's got a 20mm cannon, which can also be used as an anti-aircraft gun because it's an open-top vehicle, and an MMG as well, which is a considerable amount of firepower for such a simple model, really. It's got quite a lot of firepower.
It's basically a car with arm plates stuck to it.
Well, it's effectively a 2-shot anti-tank rifle and a machine gun.
Not bad.
Which is not bad. That's how it really works out. Special things, it's open topped, which is always a bad thing.
Yes, like that video, that battle we did with flamethrower incident.
Yeah, fire a flamethrower at this baby and it cooks up. Because it's open top, the flame gets inside, everyone burns. And it's a reconnaissance unit, so you can use it as recon. So yeah, pretty nice little armoured car. Used by the Germans from the outbreak of the war right till the end, used by the Chinese from the 1930s, mid-1930s onwards. So yeah, it's quite a nice little thing. This one is covered in mud and dirt because it's been through the war. It's, you know, driving along. I had a spare fig left over, so he's giving directions to the crew, saying, yeah, Japanese that way, go fetch. So yeah, that was quite nice. It is scratch built. I built the entire thing out of modelling clay. So that was a fun little project to do, putting it together. Getting the angles right was particularly hard, but I managed it in the end. So that's it. As to whether or not you need it for your army, it's handy as a reconnaissance unit, and as I said, it's 2 anti-tank rifles mounted in an armoured car. Yeah, it's got better save than a infantry unit, it can move very fast, and it's got decent firepower against really small light tanks used by the Japanese, or the Russians. And apart from the heavy Russian stuff, in which case don't bother turning up, because they'll kill you. Yeah, that's it. So, any ideas, any thoughts on this particular one? It's quite an easy one to do. I've already done a video on this before. This is sort of an update video. Any ideas?
Your question?
Yeah?
About the vehicle itself?
Oh, anything.
How come the Chinese stored their fuel banging?
So did the Germans.
Yeah, why? It's
because it's a reconnaissance vehicle. It goes out ahead of the army.
If that gets shot, it's going to go up in flames, the whole vehicle. Yeah,
the idea of a reconnaissance unit is it keeps going. So it's less likely to get shot at. I know bolt action includes all the armoured cars and every single rule system includes armoured cars and stuff. In reality, your light reconnaissance unit won't be in the battle because that goes way ahead of the actual main army, finds the enemy and then comes all the way back again and then the main army goes in. So you wouldn't really find them both at the same time. But it is a very handy little machine to have, especially in the German army as well, because the German army is really underpowered. I know you're going to think I'm joking there, but of this period, it's nearly all light tanks, and the only heavy tank they've got only carries a howitzer. So it is quite underpowered, the German army in general.
question?
Yeah, I'm waiting.
How come the Germans and Chinese then, how come they had the rooftop version? Why did they make it rooftop? Why make like a tank but it's sealed?
The meshes to stop grenades going in. It's open top because it's designed as an observation vehicle.
But just check the landscape.
All it is a car.
I know that.
It's just enough 4x4 car, and they just put armour on it.
Yeah. And
so it can stop bullets. It's just basically an armoured car that just patrols. Tactically, this is very handy for finding enemy units. You can mount an observation team inside it, which could be even more fun. So you can actually use it on the battlefield. If you've got a 6 foot by 4 foot table, you can use this unit to move its full 24 inches, meaning you can cover an entire quarter of the board and observe from that position. So you can use the armoured car to go forward, and it's got the reconnaissance skill as well, which gives it that free move before you start playing the game, enabling you to go forward and spot stuff for your other units. And it's fitted with a radio, so technically all the other units know about it. So it's quite handy. In bolt action, it would make a very useful addition to your army, as with any reconnaissance unit. Although in some armies, I believe the Cromwell was a reconnaissance tank, technically. And that's basically a British heavy tank.
Yeah.
But they were used as recce units because because British recce units didn't used to come back. You send a dingo out to try and find the Germans. A German infantry squad can kill a dingo. You need something heavier to have the ability to find the Germans and then come back and report that they're there, because most units just don't come home. Particularly in the desert, where you've got a lot of way to run.
You are,
yeah. The Germans will just pick you off. So you need armour for that. So it's more expensive than a Jeep, but it's got more survivability than a Jeep. So, that's a bonus. Any more questions?
Got two more.
Two more, go on.
Right, one of them is, what is this used for?
It's a tarp.
So it just goes over it?
You can put it over to stop it from getting dirty. The reason I put that on this is because it's in China and they have particularly horrifically bad weather. So they used to cover their vehicles in tarps, and so I put the tarp on the back of it because I thought it would make a useful addition to the model. And the photographs I've got show that they have several tarps on the back. But I should guess they would also have been used to make a tent on the side if it's going to be used as a HQ, as a headquarters vehicle.
Yeah, I suppose.
The Chinese used really whatever they had. So you could quite easily have a headquarters assigned to this vehicle when you're playing the Chinese. It just makes sense. You would use it as that. So I attached it on. Maybe I should make another model with a tent next to it. I don't know. Maybe that's going too far. Next question. You said that too? Yeah.
How many people crewed the reconnaissance?
4 in total.
In that mini vehicle?
In that mini vehicle, yeah. It's a car. How many people fit in our car?
Yeah, there's a car, but it looks like it's been more squished together with all the armour plating.
Well, usually you have this 2 sets of seats. There's 2 sets of seats at the back and 2 sets of seats at the front.
Yeah, like we have.
Right? Yeah, but they're facing the back to back.
What?
Right? They're back to back, so the rear seats face backwards.
What's going on? I don't know. I can't see it right now.
No, because you just swap over.
Direction.
You can drive both ways, so you can get out of trouble as soon as you get into it. You had a driver, and you had a radio operator driving the vehicle, and then you had an observer and a adjutant on board as well, usually. So it would carry basically 4 crew. I'm not sure how many the Germans used for it. I would assume it would be 4 or 3. I'm not really sure. Bear in mind, if you're carrying a reconnaissance unit, you would be carrying, a map table and stuff like that inside. So you might not have room for all those guys.
That answers all my questions.
Yeah. So that's it. That's the end. I hope this sort of helps in if you are planning on getting this unit, you know how to use it. Please leave any messages or anything, any information you want to add. Over to you.
So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe, and comment down below how many people noticed that Impractical Vespasian didn't include me in the opening.
Didn't I?
No.
What, you chip in then?
And also comment down below what other questions you have for this vehicle, and Impractical Vespasian will answer it.
Yep. Well,
Yeah.
thank you very much for watching. Goodbye from me.
And goodbye from him.
Good day.
See ya.